Maynard James Keenan loves to keep people waiting, that much is quite clear. Everybody wants to talk about how long they've been waiting for a new Tool record, but it's been 14 years since A Perfect Circle released any new material. The last A Perfect Circle record the world saw was 2004's Emotive, but today we're here to talk about their latest album, Eat the Elephant. Also, what the fuck is he holding? Is that a squid? On the incredible Eat the Elephant, A Perfect Circle have no intention of creating a nostalgic comeback record like certain other bands. Instead, they continue to push the boundaries and create thought-provoking experimental rock music. This record immediately brings you into its sharply designed world. From the very first notes of the opening track, it sets that tone. It's actually an ominous piano ballad, which most bands would be afraid to open a record with, but not A Perfect Circle. It's rare to find records that bring you into their world so immediately, and I'm instantly reminded of albums like The Incident and Fear of a Blank Planet from Porcupine Tree. It's just something you don't hear very often. Something that really stands out about this record is just how great the piano playing is. James Iha plays with such great emotion, and there's something about the way the piano has been produced here. The playing and their frequencies pierce your soul and are just so enchanting. This is most evident in the second single, Disillusioned, which is a 6-minute opus which goes in so many different directions, you never really know what's coming next. The piano section in the middle of this song stops me in my tracks every single time, even after living with this song for months, and to say that Maynard's vocal performance on this track is stunning is a massive understatement. For me, this is the current song of the year. Look, we all know it. Maynard James Keenan is one of the most iconic frontmen of the last few decades, and on this record he shows that his voice is only aged like a fine wine, and he delivers some of the best performance and melodies of his career. His dynamic ability is second to none, and his use of vibrato in songs like Disillusioned and Feathers is breathtaking. Lyrically, this record centers on the state of the world in 2018 and how modern humanity has become obsessed with this simulated perfection, and whose overblown egos have resulted in today's social and political climate. In So Long and Thanks for the Fish, love that Hitchhiker's reference by the way, Maynard sings, "We wasted every second dime on politicians, fancy water, and guns and plastic surgery." Whereas in Talk Talk, he shouts, "You talk like Jesus, try walking like Jesus, try walking your talk, or get the fuck out of my way." Those lines encapsulate so much of society today, and when they're sung at you, it makes such a big impact. Speaking of So Long and Thanks for the Fish, this is a song that really stands out within the rest of the compositions on the record. It's a song that I can see being very controversial with die-hard fans. The song starts out with these relaxed surf, beach rock vibes, and I absolutely love that, and then turns into this massive sing-along anthem. Because of the song's change in tone, it sticks out, but in a great way. When the record finishes, you're still thinking about this song, and I think that shows its quality, even with it being a new direction for the band. The first single from the record, The Doomed, ends up being one of the weaker tracks on the record, but that's like splitting hairs between a 9 out of a 10 and a 10 out of a 10. The staccato bass line that goes all the way throughout this song creates such a great push and pull when the drums kick in. Hourglass delivers these driving synths that remind me a lot of 9 Inch Nails' work, while Maynard delivers this vigorous performance backed up by some really tasteful robotic backings. Get the Let Out sounds like the soundtrack to a horror film, getting you completely unsettled while Maynard whispers in your ear. You then get a track like Delicious, which brings the listener right back to 2004. It's a track that reminds you of where A Perfect Circle left off, while including the intricacies that are explored on this record. I love the addition of acoustic guitar in this track. It's such a great texture to go alongside the dirty riffs laid throughout the track. To an untrained ear, the drumming on Eat the Elephant may sound simple, but it's the intricacies and inventive playing that make these songs hit as hard as they do. The band's songwriting craft is on another level here, with the band's use of dynamics being the most impressive feature. The band knows exactly when a song needs to crescendo and kick you in the chest, while also knowing when to drop the floor out from underneath you, down into these beautiful passages. You then start to notice all the little intricate bells and whistles that the band have added to this record, from the percussive hits that mimic the guitar and By and Down the River, to the reverse vocal effect used on Maynard's vocals throughout the entire record that create a great sense of atmosphere. A Perfect Circle continue to experiment and push themselves with new sounds on this record. While Tool fans yearn the day that they hear a release date for a new record, Eat the Elephant will really tide over die-hard fans until that release date finally gets announced. A Perfect Circle have returned with a vengeance and deliver a thought-provoking record that flies by even with its 57-minute runtime. For me, we really do have a new leader for Album of the Year in this record, and it's an easy 100 out of 100 for me. And that's all I've got for you. Make sure you follow myself and Killyourstereo on all our socials, and we'll see you next time.